Today we're gonna try and make companions work in Magic the Gathering. Well, maybe not all, but this little demon cat right here. This companion's cost is each permanent card in your starting deck has converted mana in value 2 or less. When my deck meets this criteria, it is put into my companion sideboard, and I can pay 3 in mana at any time to put it into my hand, and then I can cast it. There was a time when companions were absolutely busted and you could just pay from the sideboard onto the battlefield with no additional cost. Anyways, enough rambling, let's get into game number 1. On the draw here, don't really need much more than 2 mana, so it's a keep. That won't be a problem later. Opponent plays a tap land. Ooh, I draw the cat, play a land, play a veteran, and pass the turn. Opponent plays another land, then plays an orb, which is not good. Creatures entering don't cause abilities to trigger. So yeah, basically I won't be healing from this. This is probably like the worst card I could have seen on the opponent's field, but let's see what I can do. Look at this. It doesn't trigger any. Look at that. So much value. Oh, I guess I can just get in my 1 and then pass the turn. Opponent plays another land and then kills my entire board. My turn. I play a plains, play on Amalia. Whenever you gain life, Amalia explores, then destroys all other creatures if its power is exactly 20, which has actually happened before. I only got a small clip of the end of this game, but I wish I was recording the whole thing. I did the Amalia thing and then he surrendered shortly after. Small rant, but back to the other game now. Play the Amalia, pass the turn. Plays a land. Plays a bitter reunion. This card reminds me of family gatherings, except for they've never been bitter for me, so... And draws 2 cards. He passes the turn. Since this game is already going pretty slow and all my other cards do basically nothing, I just pull Lurrus out of my companion zone. Get my free 2 damage, and pass the turn. Wait, what's this? Another companion? Jacantha the Wellspring. Companion. No cards in your starting deck have more than one of the same mana symbols in its mana cost. Tap. Add 1 mana of each color. This mana can't be spent to play generic mana costs. Opponent plays a land and pass the turn. Play the veteran for its disturb cost. So now whenever something leaves the battlefield, I gain a life. Play a 1/1 that creates another 1/1 when it dies. Get in my 2 damage once again. Opponent flashes in a Doorkeeper. And then I pass my turn. Really sucks that my bats are kind of useless. And he plays a 2 mana 6/6 since it doesn't trigger when it enters the battlefield. Oh my gosh, this guy's deck is actually pretty cool. Then he sacrifices Bitter Reunion, giving everything haste. Then he attacks with this new 6/6 with haste, making me either discard or lose 3 life. I discard a bat seeing as I already have 2 and it's not very useful right now. And then just chump block. For some reason I decided to look at his companion again. I don't really know. I'm sorry. The death triggers the phantom to heal me and then I explore from Amalia. Exploring is quite nice seeing that I'm just looking for lands at the moment. I mean look, he has 5, now 6. Oh nice, I have 1 too. I'm gonna stop complaining. Before I do anything, I attack, see if he blocks, and it looks as if he does, meaning I heal 1, explore, it's a land, manually tap mana. Now it's time for my companion, right? Play out Lurrus, get a cat back, start doing some pride things. Our opponent gambles. I wonder what he could be looking for. Looks like he discards one of his only board wipes. Then he puts his companion into his hand and passes the turn. I play a big cat that grows when I heal. Then I play a tap land because I need to gain life this turn. Then I explore a veteran into the graveyard so I can play its phantom form since I still don't have any battlecry triggers. Then I attack just with the 1/1 cat, hoping that he kills it, allowing me to heal 2. But instead of doing that, he kills my 3/3. Man, that's the wrong cat. Still kind of had the same outcome though, I'm not gonna lie. I find an Ocelot on the top of my deck and leave it there. After seeing all that, he still decides to block the 1/1, allowing me to heal 2 more, doing the exact same thing. I get 2 1/1s at the end of my turn and pass. Opponent does more rummaging through his deck. I really am wondering what he's looking for. I guess he doesn't find it because he just passes the turn. And look at all these cards in my graveyard that I can play every turn. That's strong. I play A-Ocelot out of hand, making even more tokens at the end of turn. Then I play a Blade Berserker out of my graveyard. I just want to play this to guarantee a death trigger, causing me to heal 2 and explore 2. Ooh, that's actually a really good card. Keep. And then the draw trigger activates. So now even if he has a board wipe, I can get my cat out of my deck and just do it all over again. The amount of value Lurrus provides to a aggro deck is insane. It makes it so I can just grind out this game against this more slow player. I probably shouldn't attack here with Lurrus because then I just waste my only way to get him back out of the graveyard, but it allows me to play a little bit more aggressive and get a second card out of my graveyard this turn. Explore 3 times. Get Lurrus out of my graveyard real quick. Like I said, it's probably not right to let him die this turn and just not attack with him. But I wanted to show that you can pull him out of your graveyard and then immediately pull a second card out of your graveyard, allowing you to basically pull 3 cards out of your graveyard in one turn. And that right there is why it's not proper to do what I just did. Man, they need to nerf the cat. Oh wait, they did. It costs 1 more mana now. Our opponent is still looting faithlessly. Sadly, I don't think he can ever find the card that he's looking for. He just has 1 card left in his hand and it's his companion. I give him the good game, seeing that I don't believe he can come back from this spot with the full board and him only having 2 minions left. He gives me the good game back and surrenders. Now that was a slower game. Let me show you what most of the games look like on the draw with a hand I'm not liking so much. So mulligan, this one's a little bit better. I have white mana this time. Opponent plays a land and passes the turn. I play a land into a Soul Warden and then pass the turn. Plays a second forest into an Elvish War Master. I heal 1, he passes the turn. I play a swamp. I play A-Ocelot Pride into a Blade Berserker, healing me 2 and allowing me to give a buff to 1 other creature. I give it to my cat, go to my end step, create a 1/1 creature cat token, which also heals me 1. Opponent plays another elf, making other elves bigger and allowing them to pay 1 when he plays an elf to draw a card. Has no land drop and passes the turn. I play a swamp into Amalia so I can start exploring and getting a big creature from these heals I'm getting. I found a pretty cool creature that I'll explain when it becomes relevant. Right now I just put it into the graveyard. And I skip everything and go to my end step. Get another 1/1 cat, heal me for 1, explore, find another Amalia, put it into my graveyard. Opponent once again skips the land, plays another elf, can't pay the 1. And then I gain 1 life. His creatures get +1/+1. I explore to the bottom. He gets another 1/1. I heal again. I explore. Leave the bat there. He can see the bat and just surrenders. I played against other green decks just like this one where they just have elves and they try and make a big board and all I have to do is create a bunch of tokens and chump block them. They can find their finisher, but most of the time I can just keep that in a Deep Cavern Bat and they can't win from it. So eventually they just surrender. Like they just get tired of it. I thought I would include this little clip because it's a game that I really should have won if I didn't misplay. I have lethal on board. I draw a cat and instead of attacking I decide to play the cat, allowing him to create a counter or play his counter, healing him and making a shark. This was at the end of a really long game of like just a war of nutrition and I basically came out on top but still ended up misplaying. If I would have won this game, I would have ended up being 8-2, but since I lost this one, I ended up being 7-3. But overall, a decent win rate for this deck. It just makes such quick boards and then has value that either heals or deals damage from these tokens that you create. And then you have the additional support from Deep Cavern to prevent them from having their late game options or board wipes. And if all that doesn't work, guess what? You have a cat that allows you to bring things from your graveyard. I didn't play when Companion wasn't nerfed, and I couldn't imagine how bad that would be. Like, this card costs 6 effectively. Imagine if it only cost 3. I know all this footage is from pre-nerf A-Ocelot Pride footage, like when it was still a 1 mana 1/1, but now it costs 2 mana. So this deck would be a lot worse, but it'd still do quite a bit of the same things. Alright, now it's time for the last game of the day, and normally what I do for this one is I just find a decent game, I just leave it in, uncut, just everything. This game was against a deck that has a combo that I've been using quite often recently, where they just create a bunch of 0/1 tokens, have infinite mana, and can use it in one way. But this game I ended up just keeping him from getting his combo pieces with Deep Cavern, and that's kind of it.
saying, you know, I like your work or whatever that is, and visualize things coming to me that I wanted or whatever. Drive home and think, well, I do have these things. They're out there. I just don't have a hold of them yet, but they're out there. I wrote myself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and I gave myself 5 years, or 3 years maybe, and
Alright, it's finally that time. If you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And I'll see you guys next time.